The market's been on a roller coaster, volatile swings, record highs, and growing uncertainty. Is this the new normal? And what can investors do to protect themselves from market risk? We'll break it all down today with our guests from Elevated Financial Management, Casey Elkins and Mark Stimpson. Welcome back, gentlemen.
Nice to see you.
Hey,
Happy to be back.
Oh, I'm so excited to talk finances. Who knew that I would always be so excited about you guys coming, but I've been enjoying it. Casey, we'll start with you. The market has been so volatile lately. Do you think that this will continue?
You know, given all the uncertainty that's out in the world right now, I think it will. I think, I don't know that it's the new normal, but for the foreseeable future, that really does seem to be the case. And I think it's something that we need to all be prepared for. That's why we're talking about it today. This is probably one of the biggest questions that we get in our office is, where do we think the market's going and how can we protect ourselves when the market gets crazy like it is right now? So it's something that we definitely want to plan for. And over a long period of time, the market has always had ups and downs, but it is definitely increased right now. And so what can we do to make it better?
Okay, and Mark, the market keeps making new highs. Isn't that a good thing, or what can you tell me about that?
Well, the one thing that I would say to this, it is, like Casey mentioned, people are thinking, you know, that it's been on a bull run for about 13, 14 years, a long bull run, right? But what we worry about for our clients is what and we talk about this in our classes that we teach, is what we call sequence of return risk. If the market downturns at the beginning, or when you're in the retirement red zone, we call that the first maybe 5 years before you retire and maybe shortly after you retire. If these downturns happen, it can devastate the amount of income that you were counting on in retirement if you're using the market to create income. So sequence of return is something we care tremendously about educating our clients and our viewers and those that listen to us on the radio, because it doesn't get talked about on the radio and TV near as much as we believe that it should be.
Definitely. And, you know, Casey, you touched on this a little bit, but do you think increased volatility will keep going, or is it too hard to really tell? And that's the question that people are coming to you guys
Yeah,
for.
I think that's it, right? I think it will continue in the short term. And you know what? None of us can predict what's going to happen in the market. Anybody who says that they can is really not telling the truth. So the question becomes not how can we control what the market is doing, but instead how do we make sure that whatever's happening in the market doesn't derail our retirement plan? That's really what the question comes back to. And the old adage is true, you know, buy low, sell high. But that means that you have to be taking action to actually accomplish that. And if the market continues to make new all-time highs, that's a good thing, but everything is good until it's not. So we have to be really careful about how we position ourselves, especially like Mark said, as we're getting closer to retirement.
Yeah.
And Mark, what can someone do to protect their investments from market risk?
You know, this is something that Casey and I pride ourselves on helping clients to have a plan. We believe that we want to have a plan, especially when it comes to your income, that is going to be solid and going to be guaranteed no matter what the market is doing, no matter how much volatility there is. That's something that we believe is critical, because if you, again, are basing your income on market assets only, you better be willing to have a variable income, right? Because, and most people don't want their income to go down once they start, you know, pulling money out and having to pay bills. It's not like your mortgage. Oh, I didn't have a good month in the market, so can I put my mortgage payment off for a month, right? It doesn't work that way, right?
Doesn't work that way.
Needs to be guaranteed. So you have to have a plan so that when the market is going up or down, you're going to have a solid income source.
And you guys discuss this in your book, right, Casey? What can you tell me about it?
Yeah, so, you know, there's a few main things that we talk about in the book: Social Security, market risk, taxes, health care like Medicare, and long-term care, tax planning, all those kinds of things. So that market risk piece is a big part of retirement planning and making sure that, again, you're not overexposed, right? We do need growth, but now as you're approaching retirement, you really need income. If you're going to stop going to work and creating your own paycheck, you need your money to create a paycheck for you. So that's what we talk about in the book. We got the QR code for everybody if they'd like to get a copy of the book.
Awesome.
And we go into great depth about that in sequence of return risk, as Mark mentioned, to make sure that we're not just letting things happen to us, but instead protecting ourselves to make sure that we can still be successful.
Yeah.
And tell me about the retirement classes before we go, Mark.
Yeah, this is something we love doing. In fact, we'll be teaching one tonight. tonight at Green River, and so you can go to our website and you'll be able to locate what classes we're going to be doing in the future and when and where it's going to happen. So we want to help educate the viewers and the listeners to our radio show so that they can truly become educated in a world. Retirement planning is not easy.
No.
It's complicated, and there's a lot of different things that you need to do at certain times. And so working with someone that knows about this can really make your retirement turn out to be reality and not just a fairy tale.
We love it. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for being here and sharing all of these tips with us. And coming up next, a new novel takes us inside a Seattle hotel where the 90s never ended and every guest has a story.
New Day Northwest is sponsored by Elevated Financial Management.